Welcome back to the second video on Flexboxes. So in this video we are going to be writing some code to understand Flexboxes well with some examples. I will be using Visual Studio Code as my text editor, and we're going to be seeing the results in the browser here. I have a very basic setup with some few styling which we don't really care about, but I can show you what I have. I have an index.html file, and it contains some divs, and then the parent div element is having this class called cat, and all these children elements have this item and item 1, second one, item 2, item 3. They all have these common class names as well. I will be writing my styles here in the styles.css file, which I've linked here. The default styling here is also coming from this with some basic styling here. Yeah, as I said, the focus is not on this one. We're just going to be focusing on using the Flexbox properties to see how it works. So the first property I'm going to be talking about in this video is the flex direction. You can see that by default the layout is on top of each other, because all these div elements are block level elements. They take up the full width of their parent container, so they stack on top of each other. So the first thing is to make the container, the parent container, a flex container. So we do that by saying display flex, and notice when I save it, what is going to happen to these elements in the container. They now moved from stacking on top of each other to stacking side by side. This container is now a flex container. Once we set the container, or we make the container a flex container, by default the flex direction changes to row. That's why we have these items lined side by side. Flex direction is row, so if I save it, there is no change. I can say flex direction is column. So when I save it, it goes back to how it was initially, but then it is not block level elements again. They are flex items with a flex direction of column. That's why they are stacking on top of each other. That brings us back to the terminologies we mentioned. So if the flex direction is row, they go from left to right. The main axis is now from left to right because the flex direction is row. When I set it to column, now the main axis is now from top to bottom. That's what I meant. That's why they are stacking on top of each other. We can also set the flex direction to row reverse like this. So when I save it, notice how it changes too. They are still lying side by side, but this time the main axis has changed. Instead of from left to right, it is now starting from right to left. So item 1, item 2, and then item 3. You guessed right, we can also change it to column reverse, and it's going to start from bottom to top, to the top. So basically the flex direction sets the direction of the main axis and the cross axis. You saw from the example, if I set it to column reverse like this, it is starting from bottom to top. If I set it to just column, from top to bottom. If I set it to row, it's from left to right. Row reverse is from right to left. So that is it about flex direction. Let's go to the next video where I talk about flex wrap. See you in the next video.